Your navigation system. Dear courageous commanders, first of all, thank you. Thank you for being here, for being receptive to the call of your soul, for sensing a path of opening, expansion, and discovery, and willingly choosing to walk it. It's not every day that humans let their perceptions guide them, and even less often that they honor a conscious pull toward the unknown. A path not yet defined, a future that isn't boldly promising a specific outcome or a clearly articulated goal. By showing up here today, you're initiating a movement without having a full understanding of the scope of the change it will generate within you. And yet, here you are. So, what made you decide that this unknown was worth exploring? That this experience was worthy of your time, attention, and presence? Was it curiosity, remembrance, allegiance to a person, a friend, a loved one? Was it a pull you cannot explain, a synchronicity, or perhaps something simpler still, the desire not to offend or disappoint another? Believe it or not, the answer to this question isn't particularly important. What matters most is that you are here, and how you choose to navigate this opportunity is what truly counts. The reasons that contributed to the creation of this particular moment in time matter far less than how you move through the experience itself. In truth, most moments in your life have been orchestrated under a different pretense than the actual core reason for their unfolding. In general human understanding, all things follow a preset arc, bringing you from point A to point B, and how you enter that arc is considered relevant and important. This, however, isn't the nature of life. In fact, it couldn't be further from it. Each moment is new. Each moment holds the potential for growth, understanding, evolution, transformation, and even lasting and instantaneous change. This may not align with what most expect, but it doesn't make it any less true. Each moment carries the possibility of clarity, insight, rerouting, deep reset, powerful shifts in worldview, deep communion with all life, great relief, immense sadness, profound peace, or even limitless joy. No single moment is confined to finality, to one level of experience, or to the preservation of continuity. The emotion you feel in this moment doesn't need to shape the next. The perception of life you hold doesn't have to inform the next version of you. The intention that brought you here is in no way bound to a specific version of experience that you should or must have. So what decides the texture of each moment? Is it your environment? Is it your will? Is it life itself? Have you ever stopped to ask that question? You have arrived at this moment through the experience of an infinite number of previous moments, all of which were shaped in response to thoughts, beliefs, desires, curiosity, and emotions. You are here under the same auspices. This moment is no different from the one when you first woke up today, when you were born, when you were happier, or when you were sadder. What makes it unique and interesting are the specific opportunities, combination of circumstances, and energetic field points it contains. These are infinite. However, the range you have access to is not. There's always a predictable range, a possible range, and an improbable range. Each present moment holds the possibility of experiencing a gentle continuation of what came before, a change of course, or a complete break in continuity. And as dramatic as it may sound, breaks in continuity happen all the time. Not because your environment suddenly changes or because you move from one place to another, but because you instantaneously shift from one state of being to another without external influence. They are moments of extreme clarity and presence, not presence of mind or awareness, but presence to the field. They occur when you slip beyond the envelope of reality and return to the pure alignment of your field. In other words, you stop responding to the continuity you are habitually wrapped in, and you check in with your own source code for the highest form of self or experience available, and you become it instantaneously. A sudden departure from the stability of continuity can feel triggering, destabilizing, even upsetting. It momentarily cuts you off from the stream of reality, like unplugging a television while it's broadcasting a live event. The event continues, but you can no longer receive it. And suddenly, there is space to become your own movie. That's the frightening part. Accepting it as something beautiful and positive isn't always obvious, and yet the result undeniably is. You're unscripted, without a director, without even a predicted orientation. You are yourself in whatever version you wish to be. For most humans, the nervous system can only tolerate this state for a few minutes before defaulting back to the broadcast or plugging the TV back in. Not because the state is wrong, but because there is insufficient capacity to hold the transformational energy required for individual change to inform and influence the surrounding environment. But for some humans, those who have been building the capacity to hold change, to receive and welcome life as it unfolds, to remain connected to their aspirations, dreams, and desires, regardless of external condition, this state is becoming increasingly accessible. For humans who prize sovereignty within systems, who value inspiration, collaboration, and trust, who have returned to creator mode as their primary way of interacting with life, the ability to bypass continuity is increasing. Their habitual bracing stance, born of learned resistance, is dissolving. And not because the resistance no longer exists, but because it's no longer experienced as a threat. That is the key. That is what takes time to integrate. Reaction to change isn't a danger, or a sign that the change is bad, inadequate, or threatening. It's a side effect of choosing differently. It's not a measure of the value of the change, but a response to the breach in continuity. Once this is fully integrated, the only responsibility that remains is to embrace changes that feel inspired and aligned with the whole, because the rest takes care of itself through expanded capacity. The capacity to hold the transformational leap and the temporary chaos that follows, while remaining connected to self rather than collapsing into blame, doubt, or fear. These latter states slow transformation and return movement to continuity. That's when change does not take root. Resignation to old models quietly returns, unspoken sadness settles in, and silent resentment continues to accumulate. So why do we speak these words to you today? Because programs such as the one you have been invited into build capacity. Because communities like ours create safe environments to try. Because commanders like you are forces of change. If these affirmations resonate with you, then claim your seat at the table. Join a community that calls you and grow your capacity to live from intuition and inspiration, while developing your ability to remain an agent of change, even while witnessing your family, friends, and immediate environment respond to the imprint of your own transformation. Change has never been the issue. Holding space for the world as it integrates your new iteration is the true work. True and lasting change happens in connection with reality, not only with yourself, the humans closest to you, but with all ecosystems of Earth. These changes are irreversible and always benefit both the individual and the whole. Your world is ready for more of them to occur. They are what help shape it into a truer version of itself. So the invitation is this: are you ready to embrace your changing nature and become one who can witness the messy rebirth of reality with neutrality, acceptance, and love? This is what this year is about, and what the journey will lead you to. It's time to embrace your world from a foundation of love, knowing that every transformation generates chaos and that you are an integral part of a complex living ecosystem right in the middle of transformation. Do you have the capacity to love the chaos of transformation enough for reality to reach its fulcrum point, so that all beings can begin to live from inspiration and intuition? Answering yes to this question isn't an act of martyrdom for the greater good. It's choosing to move through uncertainty with an unshakable orientation grounded in love. A love that becomes increasingly perceived, increasingly palpable, increasingly lived. It's existing within a current that brings greater clarity, deeper wonder, and richer depth to life. This isn't a question your mind must answer. You're here because your soul already knew the answer and brought you here to hear it. Find your tribe. Grow your capacity to hold the ripples of transformation. Witness the world becoming a mirror of what you always sensed it could be, a place of freedom, exploration, curiosity, and deep connection. These are our words to you. We are honored that you're here to receive them. Let your soul and body receive the breathing experience and build your capacity for transformation. In all love, we are Earth Mission Command.